I want to tell you, you just shifted. And I want to tell you, you shifted hard. And it's almost like this point of no return. And you can't go back, and you can't go be the old you. And there's only right here, right now. And there's just a point to this shift that's almost like a culmination of a lot of little shifts, is the way that they're almost saying it. Like a lot of little things came together to fall into line in order to allow you to have this monumental change. And I want to call you a beacon. There's just something about your light that I want to call you a beacon right now. And it's just, I just feel like you plugged in, and I feel like you can no longer unplug, is the way that I want to say it. And I don't mean go be human. That's like not what they're saying. It's like you're always connected. You're always tapped in. You're always in the know. And there's just this part to your energy that now feels like home, and now feels a little bit blissful and a little bit satisfied, is the word that I want to say. I want to say satisfied. And my team keeps playing that Kevin Gates song, Truth Be Told, over and over and over again in my head since I woke up this morning. And there's like 4 lines that they keep replaying, and we're just gonna get into it. And it's like, I'm Wi-Fi, that means I'm well connected. And that's what they're talking about, how you just plugged in, you tapped in, and you tapped in all the time. You tapped in all the time, and it goes with you. That's part of being the beacon, is that you don't have to go to a location with Wi-Fi. It's like you are that beacon of light. You are that interconnectedness. And it's like, I'm just seeing that like web of like putting out a flash, is the way that I want to say it. But there's something to that. It's more than just your typical like, oh, I'm connected, to source. It's like, no, it pulls in your ancestry. It pulls in your abilities. It pulls on a lot of the essences of lifetimes, is the way that I want to say it. So it's like, it just feels like you've reached another level to your intuition. And that's the way that I want to say it. Like, I want to say it's almost like a birdie whispering in your ear, but it's not quite that way. And there's just something about like the next line of that song, and it's like, ain't nothing to lie about, and gotta flex, I'm heavy. And there's just this idea that you've reached a place of almost like stability, is the way that I want to say it. Like a place of security in yourself, that you're not interested anymore in impressing others. You're not interested in proving yourself actually at all. And there's just this idea that it's like, I don't need to do anything but walk around in my authenticity. I don't need to do anything or be anybody or make up lies, or to embellish. Maybe embellish is a better word than lies. Embellish stories, or make things seem more spectacular or more crazy or more whatever than they are. And it's just this part of knowing who you are, and it's the merger of a lot of things that come together. And I just feel like this is a huge point of change for you. It's like adopting the light and the dark, and just accepting like, this is what I am, and not always trying to figure out, what needs fixed. Wow, I'm broken, I need to do this, or I need to heal this. And it's like, no, it's like just accepting that you are where you are right now, and finding balance and solitude in that, and almost like the allowance of energy to flow, the allowance of information to flow, the allowance of existence to flow, is the way that they're saying it. And there's just this part of like the next song, it's like, all my prayers have been answered, I'm now receiving blessings. And that just is really pulling me into the fact that this is like your abundant season. And it just feels like, because that you've come out and you've balanced so much, and you've held steady in your authentic frequency. Your authenticity is finding you in waves, is the way that I want to say it. And it's just knocking on your door. And there's a part to this that it's like almost pulling me back to like the fact that like energy is our first language, and energy introduces itself before that's weird, before words are ever spoken. And it just feels like there's a part to everything else that it's like, it doesn't even matter anymore, but in like the most positive way, not a giving up, not a numb kind of way like you may have done in the past when you've been defeated. It's almost like this stepping up and being like, I know my truth. I can feel what's true, what's not true. I know what's for me, what's not for me. And everything that is for me finds me. And it's just this type of a frequency that you sit at unapologetically. And unapologetically is key here. That is trickling into the 3D and lighting your blessings on fire. which is fantastic. The last part, I think, has to do with more of your outlook on how you approach the world around you. Your eyes are the window to your soul. We can all see you stressing. And there's a part to that it's like you don't even interrupt people anymore. You don't correct people. You don't stop people when they're lying or playing a fool in front of you. You just let them do them. And it's like before, it's like I feel like when maybe you first started, you were like, what? Like, and you would almost like correct or be like, that don't make no sense, or this is this, or that blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like right there. And sometimes you'd almost kind of insert yourself. And now it's just like, I know you're full of shit. I can feel that you're full of shit. I know your energy's full of shit. I know you're lying, blah, blah. I know you don't feel good when you say you feel good. Like there's like this back and forth, and it just feels as though you just allow it now because you're just at that point where you're just like, it is what it is. But it's like there's something beautiful about that line, and I don't know what it is, but it's just like the eyes are the window to your soul, and you know that to be like a deep truth. But it's also like, it's kind of funny. It's also like your energy telling people like, I see you. And I feel like that just has to do with the current state of where you sit right now in your frequency. And it's pulling me right back to this High Priestess again. And just this stability card. And it's just like you have balanced your energy, your emotions, your energy and motion. And it just feels like you did it through a lifetime of heartache, pain, tragedy. You like alchemized your pain into power. And that's your personal stability. But when it comes to this type of a eyes are the window to the soul, like it just seems like you know that you have the ability to call bullshit because your bullshit detector is on fire and your feelers are working all the time and you are well connected. Like that's the way that it's coming out here. But now you just realized when to use your tongue and when not to, when to speak up and say something and when it doesn't matter, when it's important to step in, and when it doesn't involve you, it doesn't affect you, and you just gonna let people act a fool in front of you, knowing your truth. And there's just this idea that you know your truth and nobody else needs to know it, that is setting you free. You are owning your authenticity as your main frequency, and that is extremely important right now. There's just a large part to owning your shit unapologetically that you just bridged into. Have fun. Stay cool today. It's going to be up in the 90s again where I'm at. Much love, B.